What is the latest and greatest on Sam.gov? According to things going on in the current Trump administration, it would make it seem as if Sam.gov is all of a sudden obsolete, that you can't get any contracts on Sam.gov. I'm here to tell you that is not the case. So first and foremost, you do not have to pay for access to Sam.gov, because one of the biggest mistakes, and this is very, very, very important for Sam.gov, especially in today's environment, and that is you must have a physical address. You have to have doesn't matter if when you signed up on whatever website you paid $29 for a whole year for a virtual address, that's beautiful, but you need a physical address. Government contracting is not going away. And why not get into this space now and try instead of just time go by? What I'm gonna do during this video is I'm gonna share my screen because I'm streaming directly through YouTube, and I will share it with you here in a second. Now, you can sign in. There's no need to sign in. You wanna go to contracting. And let me go back here. One of the hot things right now is they're making some changes. So sometimes when you sign in, it doesn't work, okay? And then you can see they have a video here on how to get a UEI. So one of the things you'll notice, they have this video on how to get an account. They have these updates. None of that's really changed. It's pretty meh. If you log in, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. What I like to do is go to contracting. One other new thing for those of you who have won contracts, this little button popped up to do reports, but that only applies if there's contracts that you need to provide reporting data on. And then here you'll see you can look, if you're looking for federal financial assistance, go to grants.gov, which we're going to do here in a second, but I want to see if, so they talked about grants.gov, and then apparently they're building a simpler grants.gov. I find it really interesting that they're talking about, can you apply for federal funding? And honestly, this funding, people think, oh, a grant, right? I'm going to get a grant to start my business. I'm going to get a grant to pay my bills. I'm going to get a grant to make my life better. And that's not what a grant is for. These are grants for some type of product or service. If you're looking for a grant for yourself, for your business, then you want to seek elsewhere. But we're going to go back to the grant site because this is off of Sam.gov and is part of what's hot right now. And you can see that they're building, okay. They're going to build a new site, making all these changes for you. So, and then they're retiring their mobile app. So for those of you who are looking for grants, be aware that they are making changes to the site. I mean, already this looks great. I like that it's a green color. I think this is good. It has some financial information here that you can see. You have U.S. Embassy, trials. So again, the people who, I don't know what's up with them, but they'll say that, oh, you can get a business grant. And you can see these grants are for things. So if this is of interest to you, go to simpler.grants.gov and you can see that they've revamped their grant program. And the reason that we're here is because they have really emphasized on Sam.gov this new and improved grant site. So they're sharing, go here. They have how to publicly edit subcontract reports, to run data management, like if you're searching for specific contracts. This is really important because often I'm asked, Kizzy, what to charge? You may not know what to charge. You may not know what profit to add. By finding out what people charged in the past, you can look for it. At first glance, this is very overwhelming. It is not user-friendly at all. I love Sam.gov, but this page is atrocious. It's ridiculous. No, this is too much is going on. I feel like somebody's whole job was to populate this, and it could have taken them 8 hours, and instead they've been working on this for 7 years. This is way too much. Way too much. All somebody wants to know is, what did they pay last year for porta potties? Right? That's all they want to know. And then all of this is overkill. It's a lot going on here. So instead, you want to go to fpds.gov. So here you can look to see what agencies spent in the past. Oh. Hi, you must click here for very important information. Huh? Okay. You can't see. Here, I'll show you what came up. Okay. That's weird. Let's go back here. They provide a link to FPDS, but then they're also sharing with you that these actions have been changed. I'm glad we're in this together because they truly don't make this easy. There's other ways to look up opportunities. We got here because of Sam.gov. They directed us there, right? We're talking about latest and greatest with Sam.gov. So it's really cool that, and it's interesting to know, there's a lot of things on Sam.gov and a lot of them are distracting. So what you want to do, Sam.gov, contracting, advanced search, boom. This is where you want to go. What number is highlighted? 10,670. That's how many small business kind of transactions are going on. So there's some that'll say, oh, there's 10,000 opportunities. That's incorrect. Okay? That's incorrect. So what you want to do is you select small business set aside, notice type, consolidate and solicitation and combined. Consolidate, solicitation, combined. Then what we're going to do dates. We're going to do the next 3 months, okay? Next 3 months. So the number now has gone down from 10,000 to 2,500. In the grand scheme of things, okay, I want you to really hone in on this. Think about where you live. I live here in Tulum, Mexico. I'm going to look up how many people live in Tulum, Mexico population. According to World Population Review, congratulations on getting your cage code, Tulum's 2025 population is now estimated at 26,500 people. So I live in a fairly small town, right? In comparison, Mexico City, which I believe is one of the top 10 most populated cities, has over 22 million people. So think about where you live. Where you live probably has anywhere from 72,000 to maybe 1 million people. There are 2,500 opportunities. I once lived in Allendale, Illinois. There were fewer than 500 people, and I was the only Black person who lived there besides my dad. So 2,500 opportunities is a lot. The town that I live in has 26,000 people. So what I like to do, and when you're signed in, you can download these typically. I like to just scroll. People doom scroll, people use scrolling. Listen, I've been on YouTube. I've learned more about Mormons on YouTube than anything. So I get it. So I'll take a look, change this to 100. A lot of this stuff is like, okay, that's like social media. If you want to change your life, you have to make changes. And listen, I understand. Like I have been very resistant to use my camera, which is so weird, right? As a content creator, silver play button because of you guys, it's right here. So it doesn't matter if you signed up to get into government contracting a year ago or you just got a cage code, they're still buying. So I see overhead top shelving kits, roving fire watch. Okay, this one I think is good because it's due on my birthday. Let's take a look at this. And I interviewed an amazing woman whose first win was catering. So this is the Maryland Guard, firm fixed price, small business set aside, and they want catering the 5th of June to the 19th of June. So they want most advantageous, okay? So to win something like this, you can definitely go to proposal.wins.com to see examples of winning proposals. But I'm going to walk you through this. I'm going to show you right now how to win this, okay? First and foremost, so what I just did, just give me a second and I'll share this with you, is I went into ChatGPT and I asked for catering services in and around Walker Drive, Fort Walker, Virginia. Okay. So you can see, so I asked for a list of catering companies. You see people with awards or medals. Maybe they did a race or they won something. You see pictures of food and you see the list of companies. Fort Walker, Essence of Eating, Route 36, Classic Caterers, and Rent-A-Chef. And I misspelled it. I just put list of catering companies in Walker Drive, Fort Walker, Virginia. I didn't even use a sexy, beautiful prompt. Why? Because that's not life, okay? That's not life. So that's step number one, because we are looking at an opportunity due 22nd May, my birthday, for catering, most advantageous. And when it comes to catering, no different than when you at the restaurant, they want to see pictures. Show them pictures of the food. Show them a menu. Give them options. All you have to do is identify a caterer. Give them thank you for the early birthday wishes. Identify what they're looking for. Keep in mind it's May 5th through the 19th. June 5th through the 19th. And that you're going to need to identify who can do it. Talk to them about how you're going to work out the money because somebody's got to buy this food. Now, the catering company, they may hypothetically say, okay, Larry Turner, you know what? I'll take care of it and you can invoice me when you get paid. Who knows? They may say, no, I need some money down. Doesn't matter. What matters is if you want a quick win, if you're over here saying, I want to do this, I want to get past performance, I want to win a contract, I want to take advantage of the new things on Sam.Gov, now is the time. All we have is time. So for this, I'm going to go back to Sam.Gov. So just in the span of this live video, Maryland Guard, June annual training catering meals at Fort Walker. So some of you, maybe you have a friend or family member who is in catering. Here's also something that's really important to notice. Do you all see this? If you see this, type yes. The offer is required to have a current and active registration in SAM, not a pending as well as no exclusions. This is key. That's why you must have a physical address. And this is something I'm going to start offering very soon, to get a physical address for less than $2 a day for a whole year. So you don't have to worry about that. I'm going to show you all the solicitation in just one moment. So what I'm doing before I share this with you is I'm uploading the solicitation. Here, I'll share this tab into ChatGPT. Okay. Now I want you to see something. Didn't use a sexy prompt, didn't have to cut and paste, didn't have to go to a book. Would you like both? I do pay for this. I'm sure that you can do something similar for free, but I know that many of you are very curious about AI or you use AI in your day-to-day. I do too. There also may be a little bit of a delay because I'm sharing screens, I'm going live, so just be aware of that. It's probably much faster on your end. So as that's loading, I'm going to go to the Q&A. Okay, there we go. You know what I noticed? Did y'all notice the delay's not so bad? Look at this upgrade. I like it. Okay, let's keep it moving. So number one, you're going to have to fill this out. 17 alpha, cage code, business name, first name, physical address, phone number. You're also going to fill out 30 Alpha Bravo Charlie. Do not fill out 30 Alpha until you've done everything they've asked for, okay? So then they're letting you know they need 411 meals. Catered breakfast, catered dinner. Breakfast, dinner. I don't see lunch, okay? Breakfast, dinner. Also, if this is of interest to you, right now is the time to go into Sam.gov and update your cage code to 311999. Now, it looks like the location is actually in, well, I'm not sure because this is the period service performance site. It looks like it's actually in Baltimore. So that may change the vendors that we choose. But remember, if we go over here, I'll go check in on it. The still ChatGPT is still doing its thing. So let me go back to the PDF. I'm showing you both because I want you to know that yes, ChatGPT, any AI is great. And so they're also sharing with you how you will be paid. Wide area workflow. So if you're not in wide area workflow, like you're not in the pie system, now's the time to get in there. Okay. What you see here, I kind of compare it to the instructions. I'm not the person who reads instructions. I'm just letting you know. A lot of this is cut and paste, cut and paste, cut and paste. It's catering. Like you're not trying to sell a nuclear proof system. It's catering at the end of the day. They're letting you know right here, award resulting most advantageous, which they said earlier on Sam.gov. Okay, most advantageous. And so far, it looks like they want breakfast and dinner. Okay, so one thing that's interesting is that they don't want forced or indentured child labor. Okay, that's different. And it seems like what you may be prepared to do is to download your reps and certs from Sam, which is really easy. We cover it in our Ultimate Edge coaching. Okay, so from this document right here, here's what's important. 1, you're going to need to fill out the sections I mentioned. 2, you're going to need to be able to provide breakfast and dinner to 411 military members. But it looks like you can see the dates. Breakfast 6 to 19, dinner 5 to 18. Okay, so that's what we have. So I'm going to go back to ChatGPT. Okay, now let me share with you what ChatGPT came up with. Another pro tip is you want to check the time zones. Okay, so make sure you check the time zones. Also, for the reps inserts, what I probably would do is send them an email and see if you could just give them a copy of your reps inserts opposed to the ones that they gave. So the next pro tip is you want to email and or call the point of contact to ask these kind of questions, right? So I'm going to pull up the other document in a second. Just give me a moment. Set expectations, number 1. Hey, JoJo Catering, I anticipate that for this, you will... What I would do, if this is like your very first one, I would take the money. Thank you, Timothy, for being here. I would take any money that you have and fly there to be there. I would do that. Because chances are they're going to want more catering from you. If you can't be there for whatever reason, expectations, you're going to arrive at XYZ location. You can't have anyone going on the military location who has a felony or smoking weed or smelling like weed. Can't bring firearms. You're going to make sure that they follow the requirements to get on base. You're going to need that they make sure they follow the requirements. I'd ask them to send pictures. I would ask them to, you would want to have a kickoff call with them, a check-in call the days of, daily check-in calls with them to see if there's any things that need to be changed on the spot. Have a debrief call with them and a debrief call with the agency. So we're going to go back to back to Sam. We're going to close this one out. There we go. Maryland Army National Guard. Okay. aren't in Maryland. I don't know if y'all got those references. Anyways, anticipates purchasing catered meals. All catered meals shall be ready to pick up in proper containers. So already, it's not that they want a la carte, like I'm at a buffet at an event. They want them to be ready to grab. Safe temperatures in accordance with their food code. You may want to call them and ask what's considered a safe temperature. Also, you're going to need to include utensils in your pricing. The meals have to be delivered to Fort Walker, Virginia. So it looks like, so we had that beautiful question that number is in total, but you see how many they need. 8 dinner, 38, 36, 38. So now you see, and they tell you. If you don't know military time, please make sure you know military time. Okay? So it's breakfast is 6 a.m. That means they don't arrive at 6. They need to be there at probably 5:20. And then dinner's at 7. Okay, let me make sure y'all are good over here. Okay. What ends up happening is somebody will take something like this and be like, I'm going to put $10,000. Okay, if that's how you roll, then I'm going to sell you this beautiful stopwatch. You can do all kinds of things with it. So then you have to ask yourself, what is your goal? Because when people think, oh, I'm going to add $10,000 to catering, nobody's going to pay that. Would you pay triple for catering? If that's the case, then shoot, I want to cater your event. So you have to be okay with making $1,000. On average, people who do side hustles make anywhere from $500 to $900 a month. So that's an amazing amount of money. Okay, so you got to have the containers, the food code, and you can also upload this into ChatGPT, right? So you have all of this information there. You also have to provide the condiments, entree, starch, vegetable, bread, dessert, salad, and beverages. Okay, and then there's a standard here. So here's what's important. This is what you don't do. Hey, XYZ Catering, I'm looking to bid on this. Here you go. Let me know your price. You're going to need to be able to understand what they need. It's very evident that this guard is being very specific. They're saying, here are the meals that we want. We want it to vary in color and texture. We want these specific things. Please follow our requirement. They are not looking for you to provide a nasty granola bar and some 4th grade milk and some OJ and some gross coffee and call it breakfast. They're not looking for you to provide some nasty little dish, some gross meat, and some stale bread and call that dinner. If that's how you want to operate, do not bid, do not go forward, and do not be an entrepreneur. Instead, you're going to want to take a look at these attachments. Use ChatGPT to condense the requirements. Now, they also have this in compliance, which your sub would do. And they said estimates within a 60-mile radius. It says estimates. It doesn't have to be. It also says that they have the right to conduct a site visit, which is good because you're talking about food. This is an easy win. Thank you for your interaction live and on the replay. We're dealing with food. So this isn't like, oh, you're just delivering some office supplies. We're talking food. So you also may want to look up on Yelp, on Google reviews, how many stars do these catering companies have? Maybe there's a website you can go to see, do they have any kind of infractions for food safety violations? They're already telling you, no drugs. You got to look the part. Don't come in there looking all crazy and busted and smelling like weed. And then they're also giving you a meal plan. And you may want to double check. Is this exactly what you want? Is this the food that you want us to provide? It looks very reasonable. Baked chicken, broccoli, scalloped potatoes. They don't want no dry chicken. They don't want no nasty broccoli. You better make some tasty scalloped potatoes. Fresh fruit. Don't give them a bunch of grapes and melon. Not in a retirement home. Salad bar. But this is all very reasonable. Any reputable catering company can provide this. Mexican corn. They got a little Mexican night. Enchiladas. Look at them. They got a little Spanish night at the end. You know, you may even see if you can add in a little guacamole. Who knows? That may be a little too spicy for them. I mean, not guacamole is not spicy, but you know, just add a little fat into this meal because there ain't no fat really in there except for the cheese and the enchilada, I guess. But you get the point. This is something you can easily bid on. Sam.gov, there are over 2,000 opportunities due in 3 months. Using ChatGPT, using yours truly with the pop and curls, we went over what you need to, what's needed to actually win this work. So for this, no set aside is needed except for what you have. Just a small business set aside. That's the only thing that's needed is a small business set aside. That's it. There's no reason you can't win this if this is of interest to you. There's still over 2,000. There's still over 2,000. No matter where you are in this space, if you want it bad enough, you will make it work. Okay, y'all? So I love and adore you. Email me if I can be of any help. Check out winnersplaybook.com if you want to know how to write a proposal, proposal.wins.com, proposal.wins.com. I got a free download for you at profitablecontracts.co, profitablecontracts.co. Now is the time. Now is the time. Take care and bid on this. I want one of you to bid on this. There's no reason you can't win. Take care, y'all. Everything is possible. Bye.